As the deadline for enacting a new state budget approaches, the budget agreement for higher education has been finalized. Chair of the Senate Higher Education Committee, Senator David Tomassoni, joined me this week to highlight some of the proposals in the funding package. Your working group conducted itself like good college students and finished your work almost on time. The higher education budget was one of the first to come in with an agreement for the next 2 years. Are you satisfied that this agreement is a good compromise?
I'm assuming you're saying almost on time because it wasn't done by May 17th.
Correct.
But we actually were given a date of May 28th to get our agreement done, and we were done on May 25th. So we had a really good, and I'm not even sure compromise is the right word. I think it's a really good solution. I think we came up with a good bill. We worked together on it, and I think the people who are affected by this bill are satisfied that we came up with a really good product.
One of the things that I heard in a working group meeting that there was some dissatisfaction with was the parity issue between the University of Minnesota and the Minnesota state systems. Those funding for those institutions is a huge part of the budget. 45% goes to Minnesota State, 40% to the University of Minnesota. But if what they asked the legislature for, Minnesota State is only getting about half, whereas the University of Minnesota is getting about 82%. So there's a parity thing in terms of the amount of funding coming from the state. Is that fair?
Well, I don't, if you're going to use percentages, it's one thing, but the Minnesota State asked for about 77.5 million, and they got about 56.5. And Minnesota asked for, University of Minnesota asked for 46.5, and they got 38. And the issue becomes what our target was, number one, and our target was 100 million. If we were going to satisfy both of those requests, plus add in the needs of the Office of Higher Education and some of the other funding things that we have in the bill, we needed about 130 million. So we couldn't get there. And quite frankly, the bill is extremely fair from the standpoint that Minnesota State received a real lot of CARES money from the federal government as a result of the COVID-19. And in fact, most of their expenses are spoken for and taken care of as a result of what they lost during COVID, whereas the University of Minnesota didn't get all the money refunded. And so I think when you take a look at all the factors, you'll find that we came up with a very well-balanced bill.
Governor Walz sought and received funding for a new program called Direct Admissions Minnesota. What is this new program and what is its intent?
I think it's pretty neat, actually. So high school kids have to make a decision when they become seniors about where they're going to apply to for schools, which college they're going to go to, and they actually have to put in applications. What this does is actually identifies students who would be accepted if they were to apply, and then basically notifies them that you are accepted in this system, pick a place where you want to go. And it makes it much easier, and it actually turns the admissions process for our high school seniors into something that is much easier and more streamlined for both the kids and the parents.
So a student, particularly maybe students of color or students from educationally underserved areas, would get this letter saying, hey, you've done well enough in high school, you can come to college here, and prompt the beginning of that process in case they weren't aware that they had that option. Is that kind of the idea?
The idea is to serve all the students, but yes, your specific example is a very good one, because oftentimes people in disadvantaged situations don't actually have the ability to access some of the things that other students do. And so it's really a good thing.
Another effort is going to improve educational opportunities for people of color. with a scholarship pilot program for the training of teachers of color. And we've heard a lot about this at the legislature, about there not being enough teachers of color. There's also an increase in grant funding for underrepresented teacher candidates. Why are these efforts important?
We hear about how it is for a student of color to being in a classroom situation and being taught by a white person, for example, and what a difference it makes if there's somebody in front of the class that looks like them and acts like them and knows what their background is like. And we have heard that it makes a big difference for students of color who basically haven't had the opportunity to be taught by somebody of color. And so these things are attempts to make sure that everybody gets equal access. And it's another indication of how good the bill is.
Yet another new program is the Fostering Independence Higher Education Grants. What are these?
So we have a real lot of statistics about foster kids and how they fare when they're in college and whether or not they finish college. And so these statistics are pretty grim, actually. And so this program, what it does is it says if you're a foster kid and you're going to college or you've been accepted to college, this program will fill the gap between any money that they're getting to go to college and make the gap full so that they get free college, and with the incentive that your college is paid for. So finish college and get out there into society, become a productive citizen, because some of these statistics are really ugly.
So if you're a foster kid in Minnesota, you can have the chance for free college.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And the program, as it is designed, identifies a certain number of foster kids that are already going to school, and then supplements the gap for them.
The Hunger Free Campus program has been around for a while, but until now it was limited to Minnesota community and technical colleges. It will be expanded to include all public post-secondary institutions, nonprofit private colleges, and tribal colleges. How does this program work? Why is it important? How important is having reliable food for college students?
Food insecurity is one of the things that we just heard from the students all the time. We have upwards of 37 to 40% of our kids on college campuses who aren't eating right. And this program just goes a long way to make sure that there's nutrition on campus for the kids that aren't able to access it. I'm pretty sure that in some instances, what actually ends up happening is that because they need food, they have to make a decision. Do I drop out of college and eat, or do I stay in college and stay hungry? And well, the answer is not what we want to have. And so this program helps them in a real lot of instances.
And finally, before we go, another factor of increasing concern among college students is their mental health. The University of Minnesota's College Student Health Survey reported unmanaged stress for 41.5% of students, up from about 27% a decade ago. What is going to help college students with their mental health?
Well, they need services, and that's what the bill attempts to provide. And we heard mental health over and over again. And then with COVID, it just became worse and worse and worse. And so I said, this is one of those kind of things that people need to realize, that mental health is as important as physical health. And if you don't have mental health on these campuses, these kids aren't going to go to school, and maybe won't graduate, and oftentimes get into worse trouble. So we provided for that in this bill also. So I think we ran the gamut of trying to figure out how to make college more affordable. We made institutions able to fund their needs, whether it be paying for the instructors or putting in new types of services or instructional capability for them, and we increased the amount of aid that there is that's in the bill for the state grant program. So I think, given the limited resources we had, we came up with a really, really good product.
Senator David Tomassoni, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.